In order to subscribe for my channel, please click here or click here. Please like, share, and comments on my videos and channel. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Gaurav. Welcome to SaaS with ServiceNow. This is our follow-up session of ServiceNow Developer Training. In our last training, I showed you about business rules. This is just a follow-up session of the last video where I'm going to show you by creating business rule with scripting and without scripting. So before I start, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Gaurav Tripathi. I have 9.5 years of experience in IT with 6.5 years of experience in ServiceNow Architect Solutions and project delivery. This video is about create BR with scripting and without scripting. So we will not just create one BR. I will show you by creating different business rules as per your requirement so that you can think of in the future if you will get the different requirements, different customization needed, which is required from your clients, then you can think of that, yes, I need to create this kind of business rule as per the examples you will see in my video. So let's start by creating business rules with scripting and without scripting. Before I start creating business rules, let me quickly show you the baseline, the out of the box business rules. In order to see out of the box business rules, you can go to business rules and you can type here under system definition application menu. You can click on business rules. Once I will click on business rules, it will show me the list of business rules I have in my ServiceNow system. Now, these business rules are there as per the functionalities you have enabled in your system. Now here it says like 2373. That means out of the box ServiceNow has created 2373. I have not created even a single business rule as of now in this particular instance. Now this number which you can see on the screen, these are all baseline business rules. That means which are from directly from ServiceNow. So to enable the functionality, to provide some functionality, ServiceNow has already created business rules on those tables. Now, this number can increase, can decrease as per your system because this depends on the plugin, this depends on the functionality you have enabled in your system. Or maybe if you have already your system and you have maybe created some business rules in the past, then it might change the number. So do not go with these numbers. It's just the number as per the functionality enabled in the system which you are logged in. So let's create a basic business rule to show you the example. Now as I told you in this session, I will create multiple business rules with multiple functionalities of business rules. That how exactly you can select different options, like how can you select when or different operations, conditions, then the scripting. That's what we are going to select. We also learned about global variables, and I will show you how exactly you can utilize those global variables like current, previous, then g underscore scratchpad and gs as well. So let's start creating business rule. So we will start with the basic business rule, and that would be, so I will go to incident table. Now, if you remember this button I showed you, if I click this button, it will open up the business rule form. It will show you the business rule form, and then you can select the table, and then you can create the business rule. But if you want to directly select the table on which you want to create it, then in that case, you can go to the list of that particular table. Because now you have admin access. You can right click on the menu item, this context menu. Then you will go to configure and then go to business rules. If I click business rules, it will show me this list now, and this is showing me all the business rules created for incident table. Now, if you remember, we also have task table, and all these tables like incident, change, problem, they are all inherited and extended from task table. So it might happen that some of the business rules are running directly on the parent table, not on child table. It is as per the requirement you have. It's not mandatory that you have to write the business rule every time on the parent table. It depends on the requirement you have from your customers and from your clients. So let's start creating a new business rule. So I'm just clicking this button, new. When I will click this button, you will see one thing which we didn't see in the system definition business rules. That table is automatically selected, which you don't see in system definition, because that shows you business rules for all the tables. Here, because you came with that option like configure and business rules on that particular table, and that's the reason it automatically selected table. So it's showing incident. Now I will do one thing. I will do auto populate description if empty. So what we exactly we want? If description is empty, and description is not mandatory on incident form. So if you just want to copy similarly what we have in short description. So auto populate description is empty with SD if empty. Let's copy short description. Now it's not taking more characters right now. So I will do when to run first. In when to run, I will do it in insert. Just a basic we are not going to do any scripting. I'm making it an insert. Filter condition. So condition is description is empty. Yes, that's what we want. Description is empty, then only we want to do that. So if it's empty, I will go to action. I will do description. So description is same as, it will be same as short description. Now these are, every time when you create business rules, always see as per your requirement and see what will be the best operator for you. Whether it should do, whether it should be same as what. That's what you need to select. And this is not something I can tell you in one video. It's up to your decision as per your requirement. You have to think what can give you the best result. So as of now, if I will make it 2, that means I want to populate something with by giving some value myself. But as per the requirement we mentioned, I want to copy the short description directly in description if it is empty. So that's the reason I will select same as, and I will select short description. I don't need anything else as a set values. And I don't need to select advanced because I'm not doing anything. And if you want to check whether it is doing before insert, after insert, that you can select. But as of now, I'm not selecting it just to show you. And I'm going to save this. Once I have saved this, I will create a new incident. I have opened up the form. So this is the incident form. I am selecting the caller and I am test data to copy to description. I am just inserting the incident right now. Save. Done. So as you can see, incident is created and I have similar data which I have in short description. So it automatically copied it. I don't have to type anything. Now let's see if I'm not if description it has something. So I go to create new again and I am opening the incident. So I have this form and I put test data. Now this time this is my this now this time it should not run. It should not run that business rule because the condition we have mentioned to run that business rule is the description is empty. So if I save this, let's save this. Yep. Now it did not work because that business rule is not triggered. Whatever action user is taking, it is doing as it is. That's a difference. So this is how you create a basic business rule. Let's take some another example and try to configure some more options. We will still continue to do it without scripting. We will do some scripting later. So I'm back to my business tool. I'm deactivating it right now. Let's try to create a new business rule. In this case, I will select the advanced button as well, and I will select this. Now here you have insert, update, delete, query. As of now, you understood about like just insert. We just inserted. Let's try to check something about update. So I am unchecking this and I am checking update. Now here you have to select whether it's before update, whether it's after update, or it's just async or on display. So let's do before update, what exactly I want to do. So in that case, I will select. So I will do one thing. I will select if description is empty. Let's continue with this. If description is empty, but I want something. I know description is not mandatory, but if I put just empty for now, just to trigger this. So before update, it checks if description is empty. Now what exactly we want? We will abort the action this time. So we will abort the action. We will add a message and we will tell, hey, you need to fill description as well. Now, I'm sure you don't want this update before insert, right? Or before update, because this is something you're aborting the action. You don't want user to create that ticket. So if I update and it sees this particular option, description is empty, action would take, hey, you need to fill description as well, and I'm aborting the action. So I'm inserting and stay. I have already kept the previous business rule it's inactive, but it's still like there in the system. So I'm not deleting that. I'm just creating a new. So I have done insert and stay. Name is still same, but this time I can change it if you want. I will do it abort if description is empty. I'm just saving this. So this is saved. Now I will update the record. So this is just a previous record. So if I am putting the this and I have put in the short description. Now I have inserted the record because it's not checking anything, because on insert we have deactivated that business rule. So that's the reason it is not copying anything. But if I will update something, it will definitely alert me and abort my action. So let's try to update maybe contact type. I'm making it as email. When I'm making it as an email, I'm going to save this. If I will save this, you can see it says invalid update. Hey, you need to fill description as well. It copied it. It copied the description basically because action was already there. So if I reload the form, I still have this as none because it has not saved the data. So if I go to back to my business rule and I have this in action, that was already there. But I think we don't have anything in the action. It is still showing because we are aborting the, but let me do one thing. Yes, that's the reason. It is still there. So what I will do, I will cancel this. Now I will add the message. I will abort it. I will save this. Now you will see some difference. So this incident is already there. I'm again making as a in progress. Now this will abort it again. It will not update the state. I'm saving it. It will give me the alert, invalid update. Hey, you need to fill the description as well. That's what it is doing. Now, why is it is taking me to the that business rule form? Because it just went over there. I have to go to again. I will open up any incident. I will go here. It's just like it did update and just went back to the previous form. So I have this incident. I will make it in progress and try to update. Let it load first. Yeah, I am going to save this. And it's saying me, hey, invalid update, and showing me the message. This time it is not copying anything because we did insert and stay, but even we never removed that action. Now we have removed that because it was saved in another business rule, a second business rule we created. So this time it is not copied and it's not enabled. So, and I don't have anything here. Even this, you can see it is only on the client. If I will reload this form, you will see it is back to the new because that was invalid update. So it aborted, it stopped that action. So whatever user is taking any action, it aborted it. Let's try to deactivate this business rule again. So I'm deactivating it. Let's try to set some field values like choice field values. So before that, I will see the functionality. So if I go here out of the box, if I select this, I put something here. This is new. And if I select any assignment group and I save it, you can see it is still in like new state. It's still new. Now, if you want to put it in progress, for example, if assign to is there, that means if assign to has some value, this state should automatically be changed to in progress. How can you do that? So the requirement is your client comes to you that, hey, whenever I see assign to, whenever assign to is converted from empty to something, then state should become in progress. So in that case, you have to write a business rule. So I will go here. I will create a business rule. So we will write the business rule as set state to in progress. And when exactly we need to run it, we have to run it on update or maybe insert as well because you might change the assignee as well. So in that case, you have to put, so the condition for this is assignment group is not empty because that's really needed, right? So assignment group is not empty and at the same time assignee assigned to. I think changes to will not be good. So we can do assigned to is also not empty. So if assignment group is not empty and assigned to is not empty, what it should do, it should automatically update the state to in progress. But one another condition is also needed. That is assigned to changes. This is really important because the condition is assigned to is not empty, assigned to is also not empty, and assigned to changes. That is what you have to do. So I am going to action. I am selecting state because I have to set the value of state, and this would be in progress. Now, in incident, if you remember my incident management training, I mentioned that in state we don't on we not only have just state, we also have instant state. So you have to do both. You have to set both the values to in progress. So I am, or maybe if you want to add a message, state got changed. And when exactly you want this? Before insert or but I think it's up to you, but let's do before. And we're not doing anything in coding. I'm just saving this. And this time I'm going to create a new incident. So I'm creating the new incident. It just, and I'm putting an assignment group. I'm saving this. So as of now, it won't run because assign to is still empty and we have put in assign to is not empty. So it is still checking that condition has not met. Now, if I put something, if I put this person, and now I save this. Once I save this, you can see I got the message which I mentioned, state got changed. And I also see here that state is in progress. And if you will reload, so this is not something just on client. That's what you have to remember of business rule. That if you remember when we wrote something, some scripting on client scripts, when you push some value, so there was a API which was like ag underscore form dot set value that pushes the data only on the client. That means on the browser, on the form. It does not save it until user clicks that button to save it. But here there's a big difference. When you are setting a value in business rule, then you do not have to wait for like saving. User doesn't have to save it again. If you will set the value, it will automatically change the state and also save it in the database directly. That's the difference between client script and business rules. Let's take an example of another operation, that is delete. So I will uncheck this. And if you remember, we checked insert and update both. So that means it was working on both. Even if I insert the data, even if I update the data. Now delete. Now this operation is something if I am deleting a record. So as of now, we were inserting, we were updating. And what if I am deleting a record? What exactly you want to do? In that case, let's do one thing. That if I have let me give you the requirement that your customer comes in and say to you that if any user tries to, ideally you won't give users to delete the incident, but I'm just giving you an example that if customer says to you that if any user is trying to delete the incident, it should check whether it has any parent like parent record, and then if it has, then it should not delete it. That's what you have. So I will do one thing. I will go to list. I will go to business rules. And the one thing I will do, I will make it disabled. And now I'm going to create a new business rule. And we will abort it basically. Now abort deletion if parent is not empty. So the condition is, if you remember, we have a parent incident. So if I go to incident, I open this, we have a related record. Yeah, that says parent incident. So I go back to my business rule. I will select parent incident. So if parent incident is not empty and I'm doing it on before delete. So if parent incident is not empty, then I want to abort this action because I don't want user to delete it. So I am saving this. This is saved and this is before delete because you don't want this action to be taken after delete, right? You have to do it before delete. You want to abort that action. So it's something if you definitely might create some of the business rules after delete, but it depends on the requirement. Maybe after delete you want to send a notification to all the users or something like that. Whatever. It depends. It depends on the requirement. But mostly in this case, we want to abort the action, so we can't put it after delete. We have to do it before delete, before that this operation. So if this is before and it's before delete, now I will go to my incident and this is saved. I will go to my incident. I will try to put a parent incident here and this will be, so I'm going to put this one here. I think I can't keep the same one. It has opened the same incident. I will open another one. I will open 29 and now I will put the parent. I will save it. So parent is saved. Parent incident says invalid update. If I, yep, it's not giving an invalid update. So now this incident is a child incident and it has this parent incident. Now I'm going to delete this incident. Even even I am admin, I can delete it because that's what I have access. People can also delete other record. It depends the kind of role you have given. But ideally, if I talk about the organizational perspective, you should not allow people, you should not allow users to delete the records. Either you archive them, that's what you can do, or you close them, or you don't show them. That's what you can do. I think the best way to do this is archiving. Yes, I think even in archiving, you can delete records, but you should not delete your recent records. It can be maybe 2 years ago, the data which was created 2 years ago, that you can delete. So just to give you a suggestion. So here I'm going to delete it. Once I'm clicking on delete, it says I have one task SLA. This is out of the box. This is not something I have created with the business rule. This is out of the box because whenever you delete a record, ServiceNow always checks some other things, what things are there. So it is just telling me that if you will delete this record, it will also delete one task SLA, which is referencing this record. So I'm deleting this. If I click on delete, it was not deleted. You can see the 29 is still there because action was aborted. I'm not able to delete this. I will try again in front of you. If I click delete, it aborted my action and I am not able to delete it. Now let me deactivate that business rule. So I'm deactivating this business rule and now I am saving this. Now I'm going to delete that record. So I have deactivated it. It won't abort that action anymore. So I'm clicking on delete. It is saying me this warning. I say yes, proceed. If I click it, it is taking me to the list. Okay, it's taking me to the previous business rule. Now I'm opening the list. I have the list. Now you can see that 29 incident is not in our system. It has been deleted. Now, this might happen that sometimes you delete it by mistake. In that case, we have a module called delete records. And if I click here, you will definitely see my latest incident. So it says record deleted. Yep, this was the one. So this was the one which we deleted. It is showing me. If you want to recover this, you can also do that. It says recover entire operation. And if I click here, it has been recovered. And if I go to my incident list, so it's not there. Okay, let me go back. It says ready to recover. I have to click on roll back. That's what so it says roll back entire show you want to recover. Yes. Okay. It didn't do because I did not select yes. I have to select yes, and now I'm clicking on OK. Now it's recovering. So it's done. If I go to my incident, yep, I have my incident back. So I deleted it, but now I have my incident back with all the information which it had. So this is how you can create the business rule on delete operation as well. Let's try to put a business rule on query, and then you will be able to understand all these four operation, that what kind of requirement you will get, and then what exactly you need to select, whether incident, delete, update, or query. Query business rule. Query business rule is another kind of business rule. It's another operation where user actions, basically whenever user hits any table like via module, it always does like a query because it is fetching the data. It's similar like you are fetching the data from a database, like select start from table, like you are querying it. That's what it is doing. So it is pulling the data from the database, and that's what you can see on the screen. So if I go to the incident table, I have these records. And if I impersonate ITIL user, I go to ITIL user, and I go to all. So if I select all, as of now, I can see 92 incidents. So every time I click on all, or maybe I click open as well, it will show me all 92 incidents. It is putting up the filter as per the module, but basically it is querying the whole data. I want to restrict that. So one of the requirement which I can tell you, that if your customer comes to you and says that, hey, I don't want users to hit my incident table for the records which are more than 1 year. I don't want them to hit that query. Even if they are closed, even they are open, whatever state, regardless of that, ideally people will not ask you, but I really want you guys to understand how these functionalities work. So I'm just giving you the random example, not the real life example. It can be, it depends on your customer requirement, but it might happen they add some more conditions that you have to decide. That's the reason I'm just giving you a random requirement, that if your customer says that ITIL users should not be able to hit the incident table for the records which are older than 1 year. So if I go here and I go to open, or maybe let's go to all, as an admin view, I have 92 records. And I go here and I see the records which were created not on or on last year, or not on last year, anyone you can select, which will give you some data last year, not on last year. As of now, I have 92. If I run this, I have 68. So I just want users to see this data, not whole data. They should not be able to query whole data. In that case, now this example, this querying example, I think if I give you example of users table, another scenario where you don't want your ITIL users to see inactive users. just active users. As an admin, you can see any record you want, but for idle users or some other users, you don't want them to see inactive users. In that case, you can utilize this functionality as well. And this functionality is out of the box. But the one which I'm showing you right now, it is not out of the box. I'm going to create it in front of you. So as of now, it's showing me 68. What I will do, I will just copy this query because we will use some scripting in it. I will go to configure business rules. I will create a business rule and I will put here limit the incident query for non-admins. So admin can still see, and I will show you practically. So incident table is selected. I'm not doing anything here, at least in filter conditions, but I will have to do one thing. I will select this query and I will do before query. Now I will go to advanced. I don't have to do anything in actions right now. I will go to advanced. First, I will put the condition, and what condition we just thought of, that is admin user should be able to do the query for all the incidents, even they are from whatever time. So in that case, I will put some bracket. I will put GS. So if you remember, we talked about this global variable, global object we have, that is GS. I put GS dot has role. This is one of the method we have, has role, and I put admin. As of now, it says that the condition is the logged in user should have admin role, but I will make it not by putting not here. Exclamation here. Now it becomes not. So if user logged in user is not admin, then do this. What do this? It has to be mentioned in scripting. Here, I will do current dot. Now it shows you the current records, active records you have, the one we are working on right now. Here I will do add encoded query, and I will just paste the query I copied. I will put the semicolon and I will save this. Once I will save this, now I will show you in both the views. One is my admin, so I'm going to all, and I can still see 92 incidents because I am an admin. But if I impersonate ITIL user and I go to the same module which admin was clicking. So initially you must have seen, even you are admin, even you are non-admin or ITIL, you could see 92 records. But now admin can see 92 records, but let's see how many records ITIL user can see. So if I click all, I just see 68 records, and they were the same count if you remember that all the incidents which were not created last year. This is how you can limit the query. This will not just work on your list, this will also work on your reporting as well. Yes, if you will do reporting, then it will also work over there. So user will only be able to querying from this table for these records, rest not. So this is the example of query business rule.